Over the last few weeks, I made quite a few videos about the Garda Síochána in the Waterford area, but again, mentioning other Gardaí throughout Ireland. I was contacted by quite a few people trying to tell me to stop the videos. Some of them were politicians, some of them were members of the Gardaí, some of them were members of the Gardaí's family that I was actually naming in this. But I was also contacted by former members of the Gardaí telling me to keep this going. Some of them that said they left the Gardaí because of the corruption actually in it. So I guess me saying that all members of the Gardaí are the same and they're corrupt is probably not true, because some of them actually left because of the corruption. At the moment, the Garda unit corruption investigation has suspended 94 members of the Gardaí. We saw again today that 2 more of them were suspended and are going to get prosecuted for pretty much setting people up with drug busts. I was contacted by dozens of people that I do believe, after speaking to them, the vast majority of them were convicted because of corruption. And again, they were set up and there was drugs planted on quite a few people. Again, proof of this actually happening is starting to come out. I also spoke out a few weeks back about young women being sexually abused by members of the Gardaí. And within a few days, there was newspaper articles coming out backing what I was saying. Again, I'm speaking to members of the Gardaí that's actually giving me my information and are telling me to continue with my posts. What has gone on in Ireland is absolutely barbaric. The amount of people that have been killed by members of the Gardaí, and it was covered up for years, has to be investigated. The law enforcement in Ireland is probably one of the most corrupt, definitely in Europe, if not in the world. What has gone on in Ireland for decades must be exposed. Of course, that comes with threats, and I'm getting no shortage of them. And of course, I had a couple of days to reflect on everything, and I finally decided to make this video tonight about that. I'm not going to stop. You can threaten me all you like. Doesn't really matter. I'm not going to give in to intimidation. You're very good at that. You've intimidated, you've murdered, you've carried out crimes on the island of Ireland for far too long. It's about time that this is investigated and that the Irish people get justice. I have mentioned about multiple murders that was carried out by the hands of the Garda Síochána, and these need to be investigated, including the murder of my son, but other murders as well. We see the crimes that are being committed in the name of law enforcement. I mean, is shocking. Again, a couple of more women that came forward that want to make videos and are going to put their name to them, where they were actually raped by members of the Garda Síochána. This has never been investigated. Women, when they came forward, they were harassed, they were told to withdraw them, they were threatened in some cases. This has to stop. You know, I see the movement for years with Black Lives Matter. What about Irish women's life mattering? Why is it acceptable within the ranks of the Garda Síochána for this to continue? Why aren't you listening to women when they come forward making complaints that these crimes are actually happening? We'll be making a video there next week, which is actually really shocking when you have a court clerk in Waterford, by the way, and a Garda that kept people incarcerated for criminal reasons, to back criminal entities or individuals. This needs to stop. Again, money is driving this. The Garda Síochána are corrupt to the core. I keep saying it and I'll continue to say it. The mainstream media are finally starting to come forward and highlight what's going on. And I thank them for that. But I'm going to continue to expose what's going on, the corruption involving not alone the Garda Síochána, but the entire judicial system in Ireland. Again, I am very thankful to the former members of the Gardaí that actually came forward, that have spoken to me over the last few days. Thank you. And I do apologise again for saying all members of the force are corrupt. The vast majority of them are, there's no doubt about that. The Garda Síochána needs to be disbanded. What's going on in Ireland is nothing short of an absolute disaster. Look at the people that have been killed, the hundreds of people that were incarcerated for committing no crimes just because they crossed a Garda somewhere, and after that they came after them. They set them up, they imprisoned them, they tortured them, they forced them to sign statements. Look at the amount of women that have been raped by members of the Garda Síochána. Women that were afraid to come forward, or they were so traumatized by it, they weren't able to do so. The next few videos that I will be making are shocking. But again, threatening me to stop making these videos is not going to work. I'll continue to make them. Justice must be served. The Garda Síochána needs to be disbanded. The people that were involved in these crimes need to be incarcerated. Enough is enough. Irish lives also matter. Thank you.